Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell you the truth about silver. Today is Friday the 16th of July 2021. And yesterday we came across an interesting article published by the BBC, which reveals one of the largest UK startups receiving a valuation in excess of $33 billion. What's so exciting about it? It's a digital banking company. This fits in well with the video we published late last night, entitled Digital Yuan and Digital Euro to be launched soon. This new environment is exciting indeed, and we've placed links to that video below. So we shall now go over and take a look and discuss what this article is all about. What is of particular interest is that there are some questions about the organization's probity, or at least accusations against the company's probity. So without further ado, we'll take a look. So this was published on the 15th by the BBC. Revolut becomes most valuable UK startup after £24 billion valuation. Now, if you multiply that by 1.4, which is roughly the value of the dollar, you're looking at a $33 billion valuation. So why are we interested in this? Well, let's just take a look at what sort of company this is. London-based Revolut, a digital banking and payments startup, has set a record as the UK's most valuable private tech company ever. It reached a £24 billion valuation in its latest funding round, making it more valuable than high street bank NatWest. The 6-year-old company is now worth 6 times more than it was valued at last year. Now, in cryptocurrency space, this is not unusual. But this is basically a banking organization. The investment round raised $800 million from Japan's SoftBank and New York-based Tiger Global Management. Both investment groups now hold a 5% stake in the startup, which has more than 15 million users. Revolut provides currency exchange, current account, and cryptocurrency services for customers across 35 countries, but is still in the process of attaining a UK banking license, which we have to tell you is not easy to get. Founded by the former Lehman Brothers trader Nick Storonsky, the startup was an early entry into cryptocurrency markets, which some say rocketed its success. In a statement, Mr. Storonsky said the valuation was an endorsement of our mission to create a global financial super app that enables customers to manage all their financial needs through a single platform. So this isn't just about cryptocurrency. This is an app in which all of your financial information can be stored. Karol Niewiadomski, senior investor for SoftBank, said the company's rate of innovation has redefined the role of financial services, placing Revolut at the forefront of Europe's nascent neobanking sector. Revolut plans to use the investment to expand into the Indian and US markets, so all our US viewers, pay attention. The firm saw its losses double, to 201 million last year, which it blamed on having to hire more staff. European fintech firms are rapidly gaining scale, with Sweden-based payments company Klarna reaching a valuation of £32.9 billion last month. Miko Salovara, Revolut's chief financial officer, said his company planned to list its shares on the stock market eventually at an even higher valuation. Now, this is how obviously the investors will all get paid out once there is. Americans call it an IPO, we call it a flotation. Now, what's quite interesting here, this whole concept of fintech, and by the way, this is the commitment that your narrator is undertaking. Having been highly qualified in banking, I am starting, wait for this, a postgraduate fintech course by the London Institute of Banking and Finance in September of this year, in order to get myself completely qualified and up to speed in this new evolution of banking. Not because I'm looking for a job, but I need to know exactly not only what I'm talking about, but also the view the banks are taking. Because rest assured, this whole environment of digital currencies, and we announced in our last video about the Yuan creating a digital currency, Europe now considering a digital euro, and it won't be long before we'll have a digital dollar and a digital pound. And it's really important to stay ahead of the game and to make sure one is aware of how the banking fraternity are viewing this, because regardless of what the cryptocurrency fanatics claim, decentralization might work to some extent, but it won't be allowed to dominate the major individual country currencies. You heard that here. Not a traditional bank. Professor of Business Economics at Oxford University, Neil Vulcan, told the BBC that the valuation confirms Revolut sees itself as a tech firm rather than a bank. Okay? There's no way a traditional bank would ever get a valuation like this, Professor Vulcan explained, which is true. However, he said that Revolut and other neobanks faced obstacles when competing against traditional lenders. Many people have accounts with Revolut and Monzo, but very few get their salary paid into those accounts. That will be their real challenge, and that is true. The firm faced scrutiny after a 2019 BBC investigation discovered that an employee had made a complaint to the Financial Conduct Authority in 2016, that's our regulatory authority, asking it to investigate the compliance of Revolut and the conduct of its chief executive. The whistleblower told the BBC that Revolut's systems for flagging suspect payments were utterly inadequate. Therefore, obviously, the implication, for the want of a better term, is that it's involved in money laundering, or is not adequately prepared and have the checks and balances in place to prevent money laundering. Revolut denied the allegations and told the BBC this was the first time Revolut has been made aware of such a complaint, which appears to have been made by a former employee who left the company several years ago. The BBC understands that Revolut has seen the departure of 2 chief risk officers, 2 money laundering reporting officers, a chief compliance officer, and a chief finance officer, among other roles. Well, that certainly doesn't augur very well. Lithuanian politicians also investigated the company for national security reasons after it emerged that Mr. Storonsky's father was director at a subsidiary of Russian natural gas group Gazprom. And I'm sure most viewers here will be very familiar with Gazprom, which has been under US sanctions since 2014. Revolut was found to pose no security risks after the investigation. Fascinating subject, fascinating story, but it just goes to prove where the money is. These companies are getting these multiple billions of angel financing from hedge funds, investment banks, all sorts of perhaps as well peer-to-peer lending type organizations. And they're making their owners not just millionaires in today's environment, but billionaires. What do you think? Do you know anything about this company? Do share your thoughts. Whether they'll get a banking license will frankly depend very much upon their contacts in the city. We shall wait and see. Meanwhile, we would appreciate a thumbs up for this video. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so. And also press the bell sign so of course you're notified of our videos as and when they're published. Now, we have mentioned a couple videos here today and have published a few during the course of the week, and we've listed those in the description box below. And of course, tomorrow morning we shall be publishing our Friday morning gold and silver update. So please don't miss it. Tune in, press that bell sign. Disclaimer. Illuminati silver owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, We are not qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice and merely represent the personal views of its owners.